All right, the people have spoken. So I made a quick poll here on YouTube asking people which video topic they want to see next. And 34 people replied, and 26% of them said that they want to see how to file your taxes using SimpleTax. So this is the video that I'm going to do right now. Now, for sure, I'm going to talk about these other topics, but just wanted to see which video you wanted to see next. So it is tax season. It does make sense that people want to file their taxes. Canadians want to file their taxes. So instead of paying an accountant like myself $50 to file your taxes, if you want, you can file your own taxes for free using SimpleTax. Now, SimpleTax is a great web-based software that works on donation. So you don't even have to leave a donation to file your return. You could file it for free. Most people end up leaving a donation after seeing how simple it is. And it competes very well with UFile and TurboTax and H&R Block. Even though it's free, the calculations are actually very accurate and sometimes even better, especially optimization. So just because it's free does not mean that it doesn't calculate well. It actually calculates better in certain cases. So I'm going to use an example of a single person who is working, has some tuition receipts. So was a student at the same time in 2019, for example, and has made some RSP contributions. So I'm going to use some fake tax slips just to show you how to use the SimpleTax software to enter those, to enter your information. All right, so the first thing you want to do is you want to gather your tax slips, your documents. So this is an example of a T4. The T4, you'll get it from your employer. This is a tax slip that shows your income and your deductions, your taxes deducted and things like that. So you'll need to gather your tax slips first. If you were a student, you'll need to gather your T2202A, which you can find in the portal of your school or university. And for your RSP contributions, usually your financial institution will send it to you. And if you contributed to a broker for self-directed investing, like Questrade, for example, let me show you how to get it. It's pretty simple. So I'm going to log into my account right now. So when I log into Questrade, it brings me to right now it brings me to my trading platform. So I just need to click on trading here and go to my accounts platform. So basically that's the account management platform. And then I'm going to go to reports. Under reports, you can see tax slips. I'm going to click on tax slips. I'm going to choose the account in question. So if it's an RSP, so it's RSP, of course. Then I'm going to choose the year in question, so 2019. And this is where you'd get your RSP tax slips. So I've got 3 of them because I made 3 separate contributions. Simply download the PDF and open it. And there's your RSP contribution. So once you've gathered all your tax slips, you're ready to open an account with SimpleTax. It's quite simple, so I'm going to begin right now. So just go to simpletax.ca, click on Start Your 2019 Tax Return, loading SimpleTax. So simply log in with your email. Now, I've already logged in before, so that's why I've got a choice of a name to choose. But I'm just going to click someone else to start a new return. And I'm going to name the return, let's say, John. I guess that's the most popular common name. John Test. I'm going to click continue. So basically here you'd put your real name, of course. Click continue. So I believe Wealthsimple just recently bought SimpleTax. So I guess here they're promoting themselves with features that they can offer you. Some recommendations, financial recommendations. So just click next, or just even click X if you don't need to see this. And SimpleTax is available on mobile. Now you can start your return or check in on its status from your mobile device. Probably not so practical on the mobile device, but it's available. All right, so now we're in. And as you can see on the left side, you've got your sections: about you, your taxes, review, summary, and submit. So about you is going to be your regular personal information. And as you scroll down, it switches from sections. So it's all available on the same page. So that's great. Really, really simple and fast. All right, so you just start inputting your name, basic information, your social insurance number. Just going to use a fake SIN here. A random date of birth, 0101. Is this return for a deceased person? No. Preferred language, English. Mailing address, so whatever, 22. Street number, 44. Name, street, city, province, let's say Alberta. Postal code, and your home phone number. About your residence, in which province did you live in on December 31st, because that basically decides which province you were resident of, so which province you'll be paying taxes based on that province. So Alberta, you could have a mailing address with a province that's different from your residence. So did your province change in 2019? If so, put the date. If not, don't put anything. Is your home address the same as your mailing address? Yes. So if your mailing address is in Ontario, for example, but your residence is Alberta, then you'll be considered a resident of Alberta. You'll be paying taxes based on Alberta rules. So in which province do you currently live in? Alberta. Did you become a resident of Canada for tax purposes in 2019? No. So did you immigrate? Basically is what they're asking. So you and your family, marital status, single. Did your marital status change? No. Do you have any dependents? No. Did you own specified foreign property with a total cost of more than $100,000 in 2019? No. So foreign property is any investments or property outside Canada. Did you dispose of your principal residence in 2019? So did you sell your principal home? No. Are you filing an income tax for the first time? No. Are you a Canadian citizen? Yes. Do you want to provide your information to Elections Canada? Sure. Are you a person registered under the Indian Act? No. Were you confined to a prison for a period of 90 days? No. So as you can see, it's simple questions. Now you've got the climate action incentive. Now this credit is not available in all provinces, but if it's a credit that's available in one of your provinces, then this question will show up. So will you claim the climate action incentive, carbon tax credit? Yes. So right away you can see that it updates your refund and you're getting a refundable credit of $444. Now let's say I changed my residence to Quebec. I should not be able to see the carbon tax credit. So as you can see, the carbon tax credit is no longer there. So I'm going to go back and switch it to Alberta, change province, yes. And the climate action incentive question comes back. I'm going to say yes. So are you registered for my CRA account? I can say yes. So you want to, it's best to sign up to your CRA account online so you can access all your information online, your notice of assessment, your Rsp deduction limit, the TFSA contribution limit, your refund, your tax credits. Pretty useful to sign up online. You can also sign up for direct deposit online. You could change your address online as well. So just answer the questions accordingly. Put your address and then your tax slip. So the T4, your Rsp contributions that I mentioned, they're usually uploaded to your CRA account and you can actually go download them directly from your CRA account and it'll be inputted in this SimpleTax software automatically, so you don't have to manually input it by simply clicking autofill my return and logging into your CRA My account. So I'm not going to do that right now, but it is an option. It is a feature. If you're already signed up to my CRA account, you can populate the data from your tax slips automatically into the SimpleTax software. But if you were going to input it manually anyways, it's not that long, so I'm going to show you how to do it. So I'm going to answer the question on the climate action incentive credit. So based on the information entered, you have 0 qualified dependents. Please confirm this correct. This is correct before filing return. Yes, this is correct. And there's an additional credit if I live in a small or rural community. So do you live in a small or rural community? I'm going to say no. Let's see what happens if I clicked yes. I get an extra $44. And what's great about SimpleTax is that it shows you the change between the last refund calculated. So there was an extra $44 as you can see here. I'm just going to say no here, leave it at $444. And there's always a check and optimize button just to make sure that everything's correct and it'll update the refund. But the refund is always updated automatically as soon as you enter the information in the box and step out of the box. So as you can see from the left side here, it already brings me to summary. So I need to go back to your taxes to enter my tax slips. It was this if I go a little bit higher, it was at this section here, autofill my return, your taxes, okay, your taxes. So right now I know I have a T4 slip that I want to enter. So I'm just gonna, in this search box, I'm just gonna click on T4. I'm gonna type in T4 and as you can see, it comes up over here. Click on T4 and it gives me that slip that I have. So I'm going to look at my T4 slip and basically just enter the information that I see on my T4 slip, enter it over here. So employer's name, let's just say it's called ABC Company. 10 here is the province, so Alberta. 14 is the income, so 74,000. Obviously you have to enter the amounts correctly. I'm just rounding up for simplicity purposes. So box 16 is empty, 17 is empty, 18 I've got $900. So box 18, $900. Box 22 I've got 17,000. Now box 22 is the most important box because that's how much taxes were deducted from your paycheck throughout the year. So if a lot of taxes were deducted throughout the year, you've got a better chance of getting a refund when you do your tax return. But if not enough taxes was deducted, then you might end up paying. So for example, right now, just by entering this 17,000, it's showing me a refund of $1,679. But let's say only $15,000 was deducted from my paycheck throughout the year. I'm gonna end up owing $321. Let's say only $10,000 was deducted throughout the year. I'm gonna owe $5,000. Let's say I ended up paying $20,000 during the year, or $20,000 was deducted from my pay throughout the year. Well, guess what? I'm getting a refund of $4,679 just based on the information that I entered in the software right now. So I'm just going to go back and put 17,000, and it's pretty cool that it updates the information right away. I'm going to continue entering the information from my T4. Now your T4 might look different based on the province that you live in and based on the information in the box, of course. Sometimes there's more, you might have more boxes than what you see here. This is just an example, but regardless of the boxes you have, simply just take the number and put it in the box. And if there's a box missing that you don't see here shown, you can add the box number over here. So box 85, for example, I put the box number over here and I put the amount in question over here, let's say $500. And it automatically gives me another box if I want to enter another box that I don't see over here. Here I could see 14, 22, 50, 52, 55, 29, 56. So box 24 is 47,000. So as you can see, it's quite simple. Simply just transfer the information that you see on the T4 to the tax software. Box 66 is 1,000. So you see box 66 is not available. So I'm just going to add it in here, 1,000. There we go. Now, if you worked for several companies in 2019, you will have more than one T4. So if you want to add another T4, simply click on add another T4 and enter the information of that other T4 in here. So it's the same thing. If you change your mind, just delete it over here. So right now it's showing me a refund of $1,448. Now I know I've got a tuition receipt, which is right here, T2202A. So I can simply go search for it, T2202A, and it comes up right here, or I could just write tuition and I will also find it. So click on tuition. Were you a post-secondary student in 2019? Yes. So name of the program, math, tuition fees paid. Let's say I paid $5,000. Number of months, actually I have a tax slip. I don't have to invent numbers. So in this case, I paid $29.41. So $29.41. Number of months part-time. If I go to my tuition receipt, so column B is a number of months part-time. Here it says 0. Column C is number of months full-time. I've got 12 months full-time. So here I'm going to put 0, and here I'm going to put 12, number of months full-time. Put 12. And as you can see, once I finish entering this information, my refund gets updated. So having paid tuition in 2019 ends up giving me a credit for my tax return. Do you have a disability? No. Now, if you had tuition previous years and you didn't use all of it as a credit, in previous years, you can use it this year. You can use it in the current year. Same thing applies for this year. If you have tuition this year that you did not use in the current year in terms of tax credits, you can carry forward the tuition for future years. So here it's asking me if I was a student in previous years, and it's asking me if I have unused tuition federally and unused tuition provincially. This information I can find in my notice of assessment of 2018. Either you have it in a paper version, or if you signed up online with CRA, you can find it there. And if you use the same software to prepare your taxes year after year, this information is usually carried over to the next year. So if you use SimpleTax to do your tax return in 2018 and you had tuition that you didn't use, most likely it's going to be carried forward when you do your 2019 tax return using SimpleTax as well. It'll show up as unused tuition right away. All right, so I've entered my tuition. Now I'm going to go enter my RSP. All right, so in terms of RSPs for the 2019 year, you can make any contributions made from March 1st 2019 to March 1st, 2020 is usually part of the 2019 tax return. And if you're not sure, you could just Google it. You can see that March 2nd, 2020 is the deadline for contributing to an RSP for the 2019 tax year return. So when you look at your RSP contribution tax slips, you'll see some of them will say remainder of the year contribution, and some of them will say the first 60 days contribution. So both of them will apply for the 2019 income tax return. So with SimpleTax, once you have your RSP contribution slip, just go to the search box and click or type RRSP. There you go, RSP contribution and deduction. So first question they ask is your 2019 Rsp deduction limit. This you can find on your notice of assessment of 2018, and your notice of assessment, you either have it in paper or you can find it online in your MyCRA account. So basically it's a limit that you're allowed to contribute to your RSP and you're not allowed to go over it. So let's say my limit was 40,000. I could not have made a contribution of 45,000. Anything less is valid. So did you make any RSP contributions? Yes. So if you made it in 2019, in the last 300 days of 2018, then you'd click here. If you made your contribution in the first 60 days of 2020, then you simply click here. You could, and under description, you can put the name of the financial institution. So Questrade, for example, and the amount of contribution you made. So I'm just going to say $5,000 here. If you had other contributions made somewhere else, simply click add another contribution, choose the date, let's say RBC, $2,000. And as you can see, after entering my RSP contributions, my refund is now $5,222. If I remove the $2,000, my refund goes down. If I add another $5,000, my refund is now at $6,136. So I'm going to go back to 2,000. And if you have medical expenses, it will be the same thing. Just click search for medical expenses, open it, enter your medical expenses. So it becomes a data entry task. And remember, in terms of medical expenses, your insurance premiums, your health insurance premiums that you're paying to have insurance coverage, that counts as a medical expense. Usually, if it's through your employer, it'll be included in your T4 slip in box 85. So if you've entered it in box 85, it's already included under medical expenses. If you have donations, same thing, just search for donations, open it, enter your donation amount. So I just want to keep this example simple. Someone who's working with some tuition and some RSP contributions, because this is usually the most popular scenario. So once you've entered your information from your tax slips, you can click check and optimize. And so it's giving me some warnings. So let's go through the warnings. Here it's telling me that NetFile now accepts 2016 to 2019 returns. So NetFile is basically when you file your tax return electronically. If you need to submit any prior year returns, please submit them in order, oldest first. Will you submit any prior year returns today or within the next 2 days? No. If you moved, please change your address. Okay, no, X. So there was some information on the T4 slip that was missing. So I'm just going to go into, I'm just going to add some numbers in box 16. So whatever, 1600. Now I can go back to check and optimize. So I'm going to hide this. So ignore this and ignore this. So here it's giving me an error. There was a problem with something you entered. So let's click on fix it. So email address is empty. Because I said yes, sign me up, I have to provide an email address. All right, so let's go back and click check and optimize. So it's all good. Your return is ready. Once you've reviewed everything, go to the next section to submit. So right now it's showing me a refund of $56.24 based on the information that I entered. So once it's all good, I can click submit tax return and I can net file it, and I'll get a confirmation saying that it was accepted. And if I'm already signed up for direct deposit, then I should get my refund in less than 2 weeks. So I could, before submitting, I could review it. I could see that it shows that I've got an employment income of $74,000. Yeah, it makes sense. So my total income is $75,000. I've had other income of $1,000, which was included in my tax, in my T4. I've got my RSP contribution that I made of $7,000. So that's a deduction. So you can see that my net income is actually lower. It's $67,000 because of that RSP contribution that reduced my total income. So now my net income is 67. So my taxable income is also 67. So the income that I'm going to be taxed on is only 67,000. So you can see that my RSP contribution deducted reduced my taxable income. So that's the advantage of the RSP contribution. So now if I look at my non-refundable credit, I get the basic personal amount that everyone gets of 12,000. So the first 12,000 of your income is not taxed. And I've got any CPP contributions I made, any EI premiums I paid, and employment income for people who work in Canada. My tuition credits, I've got $29.41 of tuition credits. And then I get a total of 15% of all these amounts here as a credit, non-refundable tax credit. So this $27.81 is my non-refundable tax credit. This will go reduce my tax payable. So my net federal tax and my provincial tax combined is about $12,000. That's how much I owe. That's how much I should be paying in taxes. But I already paid $17,000, which is what shows in my T4. That's what was deducted from my paycheck throughout the year. And then I've got an employment insurance overpayment. I overpaid my employment insurance throughout the year. And I've got the refundable credit, climate action incentive of $444. That was the first credit we saw. So my total refundable credits is $17,500. But the amount of taxes that I was supposed to pay based on my situation was about $12,000. But I already paid, but $17,582 is my credit. So the difference, or it's basically how much I already paid. So the difference is what I get back. So 17,500 minus 11,958 is 5,624. So that's why I've got a refund, because I paid more than I should have throughout the year, and I got some tax credits as well. And my non-refundable tax credits reduced my net federal tax, or my tax payable. So that gives me a refund of $5,600. I could download a summary spreadsheet if I want. And I also have a PDF version of my tax return. So that's it. As you can see, pretty simple. So if you have any questions, any scenarios you'd like for me to cover, leave them in the comment section below. Now, what are you going to do with your refund? So most people, I guess, will spend it, save it. Now, SimpleTax will most likely encourage you to invest it with Wealthsimple, since Wealthsimple owns SimpleTax right now. So that is a possibility. But if you want to invest on the stock market and choose your own stocks, pick your own stocks, there's always Questrade. So I'm going to leave my referral code for Questrade in the description below, so you can get up to $250 back if you open an account with Questrade, so you can buy and sell your own stocks if that's something you want to do with your refund. Thanks for watching.